guys doing? It's your girl Owamie, and welcome back to another episode of To Hell and Back. Now you guys know how we roll. I am wearing one of FS Emporium designs. I'm sure that I'm gonna have a screenshot somewhere here and you guys can get to see. I'll see if I can get a picture of you guys actually for you to see this full outfit because it's absolutely gorgeous. So you guys know she's been sponsoring our show. Yeah, I'll leave the link to her Instagram in the description box down below. If you want to get something gorgeous, make sure that you actually contact her and she will hook you up. I also want to say a huge shout out to Maano Media because they are responsible for the whole production. So if you also want to come here, shoot or actually have beautiful pictures, you actually can. I will also make sure that I leave the link to their Instagram in the description box down below. So make sure that you go and you contact them and you check them out. Now today, my ninjas, we actually have another episode that I'm super excited for. And in studio, we're joined by Mom. Hi, how are you?
I'm okay, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Welcome.
Okay. Thank you so much because of this is like a moment that I've been praying for.
Are you serious?
I'm really serious. This is a moment that I've been praying for and just looking for an opportunity just to tell my story. So thank you so much. And it happens that actually it makes sense because of you. The time when I was going through, then the moment I came out of it, it was the time when you have held me back, actually.
Is it?
Yeah,
so this is something very recent?
Recently, I just came out of everything I was going through just recently.
Wow. Okay, so are you nervous?
Not really.
Not really. Okay, that's good. You're one of the first that actually says, no, I'm not nervous. People are always, I'm nervous. I'm like, no, don't be.
Okay,
you know?
okay.
Yeah, no, don't be.
Yeah.
So anyway, I want us to just jump right into this because I'm super interested and I'm intrigued. I won't lie, I'm really intrigued. Yeah. So yeah, that is your camera. You can go ahead and just introduce yourself, just a bit of your background before we dive right into this story.
All right. Hi ninjas, I go by the name of Platinum. I am all the way from the Northern Cape. Actually, I'm a rural boy. I'm all the way from the Northern Cape. I am, I'm an aspiring actor. But then there's a thing of like, people say like either you're an actor or you're not, right?
Is it? They say that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I go by the name of DJ Platinum. I'm all the way from the Northern Cape. And yeah, I'm an actor, a creative. Basically, I make clothes as well. Also, I do a bit of YouTube now recently just to share my story. Also, what else? I'm a DJ as well. Yeah. So last time you were talking about the DJs and how people are becoming DJs nowadays. But then my story is come from like way back. Some of us, we went to school actually for this long time ago, before probably some of the DJs ever thought of becoming a DJ. So
no, actually I'll be honest with you, I think that for me it's just that thing of who do I know you as first.
Yes, true.
So whoever I know you as first, that's the person that I'm like, okay, I don't know, I think it's my own problem. I kind of box people,
but like it makes sense though, because of some people, they became famous for the longest time, then became DJs.
You see, it's confusing for me. My mind is not that. I get it. But okay, so just a little bit of your background in terms of like how many siblings do you have? How did you grow up? Where did you grow up? Where were you born? Things like that.
All right. So I was born in Kurumane, right?
Okay.
I'm actually from. Let me just paint a picture first where I'm from. I'm from the Northern Cape, the rural areas of the Northern Cape. Anybody who knows Kurumane, they say Kurumane is far, but home it's way been farther. We're literally I'm the last village out of South Africa, and there's a border of Namibia and Botswana.
Are you serious?
Then from there just deeplaz in Maburu, where kids drop out of school where I come from to go and work from as young as primary school, drop out of school, from primary school, middle school. Literally people that I went to school with, right, from primary school, from grade 1 up until grade 6, literally only 3 of us passed matric. The rest of people just work in a farm and a grapes farm, white people, livestock and all those things.
How many kilometers is it like from Gauteng? Or I mean, how many hours would it take you from
12
here?
hours.
Oh, that's like going to like Zim.
12
Not that
hours.
there's anything wrong with going to Zim, but I'm just simply saying it's like going to a whole other country.
Funny enough, you asked me this question because of last week. I actually Googled the map on a map. I was in Joburg, I Googled the map. It's literally 12 hours.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean, I grew up in the rural areas. I'm just a rural boy, man. I grew up in a family. Let's just talk back, right? I was born in Batlaros, right? That's Kurumani, right?
Okay.
I don't know if you know Kurumani.
No.
Kurumani is like a small village.
I know Egurulen, which is
No. So Kurumani is like in the Northern Cape. So yeah, I was born there, but I didn't know Kurumani. Actually, I knew Rustenburg, I knew Joburg before I even knew Kurumani. Right?
I get
so
that.
I grew up in that at home in the rural areas from Batlarosi Hospital. Then my mom took me to the village, right? The village where I was staying with my grandmother. So in the rural areas, grandmothers, there's a lot of family members, right?
Yeah.
Banaba, Nkele, Mawani, or everybody stays within a
like we stay together. And Gogo, it's everyone's.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get
so
that.
That's how I grew up.
So you grew up like with a big family, cousins.
Yeah.
And okay.
I always hear people, they say that I come from a big family and they talk about 25 people. At home, we actually, growing up, we were like 40 something in one house.
And you all ate from the same pot?
Same pot.
How many pots were being cooked?
We were cooking with like a pots, like those big
That big one?
outside on the fire. Yeah, there's
Well, anyway, why am I acting shocked for him? Because I'm sure you were not partaking in the cooking of the
I don't know. I don't know, yeah.
Okay, no, I do get that. Okay, so you actually wrote to us, and
Yeah.
I just want you to be free. Just go ahead and tell your story from where it begins, to the comfortability that you actually can. If you share everything, I'll be very happy.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So my story is very hectic, man. My story is very hectic. So like I said, I from the rural areas, right?
Mm-hmm.
Small village. I went to primary school, middle school. We went to another middle school, right? Because in my village we didn't have a middle school or high school. We only had a primary school, right? So the other village had a middle school. That's why we went to middle school, right? So we went to middle school there. From there, high school. There's no high school close by. After middle school, you go to Kuruman. This is like a town, right? Or people go to Rustenburg, which is, I went to Rustenburg for high school, right?
Okay.
Because my mom, we always stay there. Remember, I was staying with my grandmother at home. Yeah. So yeah, from there, I don't know where should I take my story, or should I just take it from until I found everything that happened in my life.
Yeah, whichever route you want to take.
Right.
We can take the one from Devon going to Ekurulen. Is it Ekurulen? Kuruman. Or we take the Rustenburg, it's fine. As long as we arrive.
All right. Yeah, man. And then from there, I went to Rustenburg, right? That's where I started experiencing witchcraft, right?
What do you mean?
I don't know, there's certain things that I really don't want to pinpoint or how I relate to those people. But those people are just family members, right?
Okay. I think you can share what you experienced without actually saying, oh, my aunt did this, or so you can share, because I know that's a sensitive topic. We also wouldn't want to get sued. But yeah, you can just share with the experience without necessarily naming from who.
Yeah, man. So from there, went to in high school, right? I'm in Rustenburg, Uphoking. I'm there that's where I experienced witchcraft, right? Mm-hmm. So I keep on falling, right? I kept on falling. My mom took me to a GP, right? From GP, they can't find anything, right? They're asking like, are you drink? Do you smoke? And which is something that I never did. I never smoke. I never drink alcohol up until probably after high school. That was like many years after high school. That's probably started drinking, right? Yeah. Then they gave me the pills, and from there he said probably I'll be okay, right? But I kept on falling until my mom took me to a sangoma.
So when you're saying falling, you mean like what? Fainting, yeah. Okay.
That was literally the last time I fainted, when my mom took me to. We were cooking with like a prime stove, like paraffin stove, right? I literally fell just next to it. It was just here. I almost fell on top of it. So that was that time when my mom, okay, let's go to Sangoma, right? Went to Sangoma, then was taking things out of my stomach, right? So, right?
Okay.
Those are things that, yeah, I took it from there. From there I became okay, right? I became okay. Then after matric, I left, right? I left Rustenburg, I left Kuruman as well to work in a farm where kids drop out of school to work and work on a farm. That's where I went, right? I went to work there as well for a year, right? Because of, that was after matric.
That was after you passed matric. But what I just want to find out is that area where you're from, like they don't have police. What about like child labor? Like kids from as young as primary that are going to work?
Actually, I've never thought of it like that way, but actually there are kids who as young as 12, 13, 14, 15 who drop out of school to work in a farm. I never thought of it that way, but actually it is kids who work in a farm, kids who work in a great farm.
Child labor, basically.
It is.
So Ramaphosa, you still have a part in your country where children are literally dropping out of school and they are working, like child labor. That is illegal. You need to do something.
Yeah, it happens. So I left that because I didn't know what to study, right? For the longest time, I never knew what to study. After I came from the farm, right, I went back to Rustenburg, stayed in Rustenburg a bit, and then I just praying like what's my purpose on this earth, right? I just never knew what was it, right? Until I started going to church, the Bazalwane church, right? From there, that's when I started doing the whole thing of fasting and praying, right? Okay, then that's when God kind of really revealed what's my purpose, right? Then I knew that actually I have a passion, right, that I never knew for telling stories, basically, right? Either it's just being an actor or writing scripts, actually. And I started from there, started having ideas, and I could just literally act and I'll cry, like easily, just something that I never knew from that moment, right? From there, I packed my bag and I came to Joburg, right? That was in 2011, right? 2011, yeah.
2011, how old are you?
I was 20.
You were 20 in 2011?
Yeah.
Okay. I
think, yeah.
Okay.
I came to Josie, then I started investigating like because I'm from rural areas, man. I grew up without a TV. That's the thing, right?
Okay.
And then I came.
So there's also no electricity, I guess.
Now there is now.
Oh, but back then, okay.
No, there was not. There was not.
Okay.
Only few families that I have like yeah.
Okay.
So I came to Josie and I started getting onto production. They did a bit of TV there and there.
Which stories have you acted in, or?
It was mostly cameo and extra. Then there's a few that I actually on my social media I put some of them in there, but it was not like something that was big, right? It was just probably extra cameo, few lines and those type of things.
Okay.
So yeah, and then there was also this thing of like, I grew up without my father, right? So there was this thing of like, always tell me to go look for your father, like go get to know who you are, right? That time I was in Joburg, and it started bothering me, right? That's when depression came through, right? And slowly, and I knew that this is something that I need to deal with it, right?
Had you ever asked your mom who your dad was?
That's the story, actually.
Okay.
I've always asked my mom how even I knew that actually I didn't have a father. It was a funny story because I used to go to, I never knew that I didn't have a father up until after I passed matric. Literally, we were in a yard, right? A yard that has a lot of people who renting on it. And there was this one man who asked me like, aren't you going to school? That was like a year after matric. He asked me like, aren't you going to school? That's like the first day of a year after matric.
Okay.
And he asked me, do you know you're not going to school? I was like, no, I'm done with school. I was like, did you pass your matric? I was like, yeah, I passed. Then he gave me, he was just very happy, man. He just came and hugged me and actually gave me a 20 rand that I had said like, go and buy a cold drink. Literally that moment, that's when it clicked, that actually I don't have a father. And that was like a beginning of everything that happened in my life. And from there, I asked my mom, like, who's my father, right? And I'll see the pain in my mind, the pain in my mom's eyes, the pain in my mom's voice, the body. I'll just see the pain, and I'll stop, right? Sharp, move on. A few years later, still, this thing is growing, right? Now I started calling Sadek now, and now have a call with Sadek, they want to talk about my childhood. And my childhood, I was a happy kid, right? I grew up like a very happy kid, right? So from there, that's when I was like, okay, cool, this thing is serious. So I need to actually go and look for my father, right? Went back home, asked my mom, who's my father? Still the same pain in her eyes, in her voice. That thing happened over and over.
But she wouldn't give you an answer of who he was?
Never.
Okay.
It was just pain. And
would she experience maybe anger, or would she cry?
Anger will be there, but mostly it's going to be like shaking, like in a panic, like a panicking type of thing, right? She will literally shake, right?
Okay.
That's when I was like, okay, let me stop asking about it. Asking him, her, actually.
Yeah.
That's when I started going a journey to go and look for my father on my own, right? I went, the time when I went to the village, I thought that the man was my father, was actually not my father, right? Okay. Then I went back. That's when I left everything. I was like...
How did you know he was not your father?
I went to ask him.
Okay.
I went to ask him. He was like, no, actually, no. Then after that, I took that as a rejection, right? And then I left. That's when I left to come to Joburg. I came to Joburg, and I for the longest time, still, I was working retail, right? But for the longest time, this thing was just growing in my head. Like, you need to go look for a father, right?
Yeah.
Eventually, I left everything here, right? I left everything. I was like, let me just go look for my father. I actually get out journey of self-discovery, get to know who I am, type of thing. Because I believe that I came here with just a talent, not a passion. There was nothing other than just knowing that I just want to do this thing and just move on with my life, right?
Yeah.
Then I left everything, went back in the rural areas. When I got there, that's when I discovered a lot of things about myself, right? I discovered the witchcraft within a family, right? I discovered that I was conceived through rape, right? Which is something that explained every time when my mom talked, she was shaking and those type of things, right? But I will talk more about that as well. I also discovered the gift, right, of prophecy. Some people call medium, right? So prophecy/medium, right? That's what I found out, those things as well. Also, the water spirit, right? The water spirit, that's what I also struggled with that for the longest time, right? Because there's something that I also want to teach, especially because of within the entertainment industry, which is something that is huge within the industry, right? That people, they are possessed by this thing that they don't know, because it's something that it's above you, right?
Yeah.
The reason why the water spirit only follows certain people, not everybody, was the reason. So I'll talk about that as well. So yeah, from there, that's when I went back, right? I forgot where am I? So
you went back because when you got home, you found out that you were conceived through rape.
Yeah.
And then you also found out that you had the gift of prophecy and the witchcraft within the family.
Yeah. So I went back, right, to the rural areas, right? That's when the water spirit came through, right? The first thing came through was the water spirit, right? You dream of water, you dream of snake, you dream of being in uniform, getting under the water, those type of thing, right? And from there, the water spirit makes you believe that the gift that you have, it's supposed to be used by them, right? That's why people end up going to the water, right?
Okay.
So I went through that thing. I went through that phase of...
Did you trust them?
No.
Okay.
Almost. Actually, I went to Sangoma, and I went to Sangoma. I was like, I don't know what's going on with me. I see things, actually. When I walk in people's yards, right?
Yeah.
By the door, I see things. By the gate, you see things, right? I don't know what's going on with me, right? Then she said that you need to toss her, right? Literally, she gave me a list of what's supposed to be doing, what's supposed to be happening, and I shared the story actually on my YouTube as well. So,
which I will link your YouTube channel in the description box. So if you want to check his YouTube channel after this video, you can.
Yeah, thank you. So from there, that's when the water spirits like followed you. The water spirits, what people don't know about water spirits, like it makes you suicidal, right?
Is it?
Suicidal thoughts. Wow. Everyone who been with water spirits, chased by the water spirits, that's one thing.
That's common.
Yeah. Basically, it forces you to end up going into the water. Literally, the suicidal thoughts, the headache, it's everyday headache, and it's horrible headache, right?
Yeah.
That's why for me, I said that I don't blame people who end up going to water, because that thing, if you don't have information of how does this thing work, you'll end up going to the water. I almost went to the water as well, right? And then from there, that's when I started going home, right, to ask about home and what's with the water spirit, right?
But wait, did you, obviously now you found out that you were conceived through rape. Did you ever find out who your father actually is? Okay.
Should we go there?
Yeah, we can go there.
So this past years, right, I've been asking my mom who my father is, right? And for a couple of years, for over years after apart, I'll go back just to see if she's okay to talk about it. Still, the pain is there, the voice, anger, all those type of things, right? Then the last moment when she saw that this is serious, actually, was my young sister was studying Pretoria, right? She's studying Pretoria, and she just saw a sangoma, by the mall, actually. And the sangoma came to her and said, listen, tell your brother that your brother's life is in danger, and he knows what you do, right? Which is something that also only to look for your father, right? My mom, that's when my mom took it seriously. Then mom took me to the father's side.
Your father?
Yeah.
Wow. Did you meet him?
He passed already. He already passed. And funny thing about the story as well, the fact that actually, even the family album, right? He's the only one who's not even his picture, even one picture that is not there, even his kids. He only passed 2016. Everyone probably had a smartphone,
yeah.
But none of them, they have his picture, like nothing, right? Then my mom took me there, which is, I ended up being rejected actually by the family. Then I, after got rejected, but I stayed there for a couple of months just to get to know the family, also because I knew that I have a spiritual gift, and without the father side of family, that's what we believe, right? We made believe that without the father side of family it won't work, right?
Okay.
But eventually I went, we did the whole traditional things, you know, right?
Yeah.
That's when then I came back after rejected by the family, came back to stay with mom. But something in me just kept on telling, like, tell your mom to tell you the truth. What's going on, right? I asked my mom, again, my mom will fight, that you said that you wanted your father, and I took you to your father. What more do you want? At that time, I honestly thought either one, I was adopted, or my mom gave away, maybe I had a twin or something. That's what I had. And I really have the conversation with my sister, actually, with her, even with my mom as well. That's the time when my mom saw that actually, no, this thing is,
it won't end.
Yeah. So she ended up saying, actually, your father raped me, right? He had a knife on her throat, right? And said that either if you scream, I'm going to kill you, right? If you tell anybody, I'm going to kill you. So the situation with that was a thing of my mother was a domestic worker in this family, right?
Wow.
My mom was a domestic worker in the family, and one day there was nobody, she was just alone. That's when it happened, right? She told me the story, and then from there, and I knew it. For some reason, I knew that before even she told me, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, man, that's the story of like being conceived through rape. So that's the message that I want to drive in a way, just to educate people around that as well. Yeah.
So obviously, I don't even know what to really say about that, So for me, I just want to find out, obviously you had been asking your mom, and your mom was not telling you, and at that time your dad was still alive. So your father passed 2016, and you never got an opportunity to actually meet him. So she only took you there after he had passed. Did you have any resentment a little bit to say, I wish you told me, then I would have actually gotten a chance to meet him, as you're saying that they don't even have a single picture of his?
No, actually.
Is it?
The only anger that I had was when I was told by Sangomas by prophets, ZCC Church, right? Before I even went to tell my mom to say, Mom, who's my father, right? I had an anger towards him. And I said to myself, why would I go and look for somebody who probably never wanted me, right? So there was anger towards my mom when my mom told me that, actually, no. The only thing that was there was just feeling sorry for her, what happened to her. And I told her, man, that's not your thingy. It's not your mistake, right? It's not your fault. So why should we be taking a shame type of thing? That was the only conversation that I had with her. But anger towards her, no.
But like growing up, from you being a child, would you say that, how would you describe your relationship with your mom?
So my mom, right? My mom was never at home, right? I grew up in the rural. She was in Rustenburg the whole time, right? My other siblings, they were with her, right?
Okay.
My mom's siblings, right, with her. So I was the only one who left at home. They will see them at December time, Good Friday. That was the only time they will come back home, right? So yeah. Relationship with my mom, I never really had a relationship with my mom, but I knew her now and then she would come, and I always look at her. I always admire her because my mom was very beautiful. She was very beautiful. She had long hair. So that was the thing only thing I remember of my mom, just like her beauty. But talking to her behavior, it's only happened like recently after actually she told me the truth. That's the only time when he started having a relationship with my mom.
Okay, so you're saying that like you remember admiring your mom, but not really having a relationship with her. But your other siblings were with her in Rustenburg, yet you were the only one that was actually at home. How did that make you feel growing up as a child?
Honestly, my lady, I'm gonna be honest. It never really bothered me, right? Actually, I was more happier probably with my grandmother in the rural areas, But even pinpointing that I'm actually the only one within my siblings that is with mom, it only happened now recently, yes. That actually it makes sense that I didn't grow up with my mom. My mom was like with the other siblings at home. Now was with my grandmother. Probably that was, but back then I never really knew or pinpoint anything that was wrong with my life. So growing up,
Okay. No, I mean, in cases like this, I really never know, like really what to say, because if I'm saying I'm sorry, like I am sorry that maybe you went through whatever, everything that you had to go through, obviously. But yeah, honestly, I won't lie. Like I really don't know what exactly to say, because people have just, different opinions when it comes to children that were conceived through rape. I am happy that, at least you're one of those that really didn't go through the abuse, because a lot of children that are conceived through that, they actually faced a lot of abuse. So I'm really glad that at least you're one of those that did not have to face that. But yeah, I really want to go into the witchcraft aspect of your story. Can you please just explain to us, like, what happened?
I'm from rural areas, right? Rural areas, guys, we know that witchcraft. There's a video that I made that people say Limpopo, there's a witchcraft in Limpopo. They don't know the Northern Cape. They know Northern Cape, guys. Those are people that stay every day in the rural areas. They don't work. They just depending on pension, right? They do nothing during the day, every day. So my story with witchcraft, right? It started in Rustenburg, right? That was the first time I experienced witchcraft.
Yeah.
Right. It
With
moved
the
on.
fainting.
Yeah.
And then after that, you went to a sangoma. They took out whatever that was, and then you stopped the fainting.
Yeah.
Okay.
From there, I went through the thing of the water spirit, right? That was only now I know that was the time when I was going through spiritual awakening, right?
Okay.
Most of people that are with a spiritual gift, they don't know. No one knows that I have a gift within me, right?
Yeah.
You only know when you're going through spiritual awakening. It happens most of the time. It happens later, right? And with people with the water spirits, right, who are followed by the water spirit, that's when it took. Right, the water spirit takes over, right? From there, but I went through spiritual awakening. That's when I started seeing things, right?
Okay.
At home, right? I want to find out that actually at home there's witchcraft within at home, right? Witchcraft happening at home, right? I remember calling, because for me, I never I believed in witchcraft. I never ever thought that witchcraft was a thing, you know. I called a cousin of mine, right, before I even get to know. I called a cousin of mine, like, asking him, like, man, is witchcraft honestly happening within our family? And everybody, they just say it's something that has been happening for years. I just never knew, right? Sharp. Then when I started going through spiritual awakening, I get to see things at home. That's when the witchcraft happens, right? Because of when you see their things, they see that somebody...
What are the things that you would say you were seeing?
There will be like, what's the thing? You know, the small Vaseline?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know what you call it, the tin.
Vaseline?
Yeah, the smallest one. Or something like a lipstick that's just a container.
Okay,
that's small,
okay, yes.
Right? You see those things in a pillow, right? You get to see them open a pillow. You see those things, right? You see everything that happens within a family, right? Everything that they do, basically, you see those things. And when you see those things, you disarm those things, right?
Okay.
You disturb those things.
Yeah.
And they will get to know who
did that.
Who's saying, right?
Yeah.
That's when they started throwing, right, the dark animals, right, at you, right? The lightning happens 4 times at home. Literally.
What do you mean lightning?
Lightning, like
someone
lightning.
Struck by lightning?
No, at home.
Or the lightning struck the house?
At home, yeah. We sitting at home. At home, like have you seen lightning outside?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Imagine that inside the house.
Without rain?
No, there was rain.
Okay.
There was rain. Always happens with rain. 4 times it happened, 4 times. Second time I was not there. Third time, 4th time I was there, right? From there, it was then when they see that everything they do spiritually away from me, it doesn't happen, right? So eventually they came for me in physical form, right? That's when they sprinkled me with moti over my head. Almost lost my mind.
Were you up when they were doing that?
Daylight.
They just came and sprinkled something on top of your head?
How it happened was, I was in Rustenburg, right? In Rustenburg, there's other family member who stays somewhere, right? Sent my cousin, right, to come and ask me. Basically, he came, asked me, like, I don't know where I almost said
that person
stays. Yeah.
Okay.
So please take me there.
Oh,
right?
okay.
That's when the time I just like I accompanied him to there. Only when I get there, it was a setup already.
So your cousin was also in on it?
I don't think he knew. He was just saying because of there's the people that the one that get used, the one that they didn't go to school, right? They smoke weed. Probably most of the time they smoke weed. They drink alcohol, so they depend on them, right? When they get like 100 rand, 200 rand, 50 rand, for them.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's a fix.
Yeah. So I don't think that he knew what was going to happen there, right? When I got there, there was a chair, like 3 chairs actually. There's a TV here. I came, they gave me a chair to sit in the middle chair. Her child sitting here, my cousin sitting on the side. She wakes up to go to the room. When she got to the room, I hear the sound of a bag, right? A zip, right? She took a moti, came stand behind me, right? We're just talking, watching TV. She came behind me, sprinkled moti over my head, right? Something in me, I knew. I saw him. You
saw her, yeah.
Her, yeah. And then I I almost wanted to get up and ask her what is she doing, right? And then something said, just come down and see what's happening, actually, right? And I said, right, I just said, and it happened that she spoke with me with Muti. She went back to the room, and as she's behind me, her kid, she's giving the look like, almost like I can see, or she knows what my mom is doing, basically. So that thing Muti happened over my head. I went back to the room, came back with another Muti and started putting me here. Have you seen when someone talking to you and they,
as if they're touching you?
Yeah, they keep on doing these things, only to find out that was actually the monetary eye, right? The monetary eye, which is something that people actually thought it's a lie, actually. That
it was a what?
Monitoring eye.
Monitoring eye, okay.
Whatever that you say, whatever you plan, whatever they hear,
they monitor,
things,
yeah,
literally.
Okay.
From there, I saw what happened. I'm actually, this is not even a full story, but just to cut it short, right? I remember getting up to leave, right? As I leave, she went to a door and closed the door, right? Closed the door in daylight, closed the door for me to touch the handle so that they can take the fingerprints, right? That's what they no longer, now people, whenever they go to Witchcraft for you, they no longer need your t-shirt or your hoodie. They just need everything that you touch. They can use that on that, right? Then I left. My cousin keeps on telling me, Kopa orapele. Like all the
please
way. Please pray. Wake up at 12.
So pray. Does this mean your cousin saw maybe what happened?
What happened?
Okay.
But I don't think that he
knew.
He knew,
yeah. Okay.
Keep on saying Kopa orapele all the way to home, right? When I get home at night, my head started moving. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Literally, I feel like I'm losing my mind. I remember even said I wanted to wake my mom to tie me in the bed, but I didn't want to bother her, right? I didn't want to bother her. I went outside the house, right? In my head, I was just kind of like, please, God, if I want to lose my mind, let it not be like how we see people working on the, type of thing. I went outside, I took water from the tap, right? Just took the water and I just bathed myself, just prayed, basically. Just prayed. I didn't go to Sangoma, I didn't do anything. I just prayed and it was okay. But as much, I'm always being honest with myself, right? Honestly, I believe that I had lost my mind for a couple of months after that, actually. I remember even went to a friend of mine. They were just shocked. They were just like, dude, what's going on? And
did you lose track of time?
I did. Literally, I would see myself walking on street, but almost like I don't see myself. My conscious mind was just not there the whole time, right? And then from there, that's when I went to the rural areas, actually going to find there's witchcraft within the family. That's when I knew, literally got to a point where I got to know that actually there was witchcraft within the family, right? So that is what happened, almost losing my mind. And as much as I keep on saying I almost lost my mind, I believe that I had lost my mind at that time. So from a family member, that's the story of I was just shocked that believed that actually family members can lawyer each other like that.
So when you were staying at your granny's place, it's like 40 of you guys.
Yeah.
How big was the house?
So
no, I'm really curious.
The house was you see the mud house, right? I grew up in a mud house, right?
Yeah, mud house, right?
Yeah. So it was 4-room, right? Mud house. Then there was other one. There were 3 outside. So it was 7. Yeah, but then it was just mud house, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's how
So you all slept in there. So maybe in one mud house, how many were you?
Probably 11, 12.
How big was it?
The family was big. Even now,
actually. No, I mean the house, the mud house. How big? Isn't it? You're talking about the round?
No.
Which one?
No. The mud house, just like a square.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just like a house like this.
Yeah.
It's just 4 rooms. Have you seen 4 rooms? How 4 rooms? It's just in the mud house.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's how we grew up. We obviously on the floor, right?
Yeah.
Just take blankets and you sleep on the floor. So that's how we grew up. Yeah.
So the auntie that actually did that, do you still communicate with her?
I do. I do.
Do you still go to her place?
No, I don't go to her place.
Are you close with her kids?
No, because that's the thing about people who practice witchcraft. They make their kids to hate. They teach their kids hate, basically, and not to work together as a family. Because of if cousins, for instance, cousins, right? Cousins, they make your cousin to hate you. And here's a story, another story. Probably the reason why why the witchcraft happens to us, basically, right? I think because of my sister Kikili 84, right? She was the first one to pass matric within the entire village, right? Followed by me within the family, basically, within the entire family. We're the only one who had like a matric, basically, right? So I think that's the whole thing came from just, but it made it worse when I went through spiritual awakening and started seeing the thing. I think that's what it made them angry even more.
Yeah.
So I think,
Wow.
that was, even because I even remember growing up, right? We used to hear people saying that there's witchcraft, right? Even my sisters, they say that witchcraft has been happening for years within the family. Just that I didn't know, honestly.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, I don't know. As you said, they say people in Limpopo. I come from a village called Gaba, and the full is Gaba 49 Mishongani, which means Gaba 49, like where Imiti is at, right? So I mean, we grew up seeing stuff as well. We would just hear. I will not lie and actually say, okay, well, I've also had some encounters, but nothing as severe as I would say something that you have actually had. Would you have dreams though?
Dreams like
would you have dreams like maybe as you would see, was it in your dreams that you would see, or was it like visions that would come daylight?
Sometimes daylight, mostly at night, right? Whatever they're doing at that time, you see those things, right? Whenever those things happen, like when they at the Sangoma or in the cemetery at night, probably at 3 naked, you see those things, literally just like you see them, right? So I think that's when they knew Horimuto again with the spiritual gift. Probably that's why let's go after him. So yeah, that's what happened basically.
Okay, so with your spiritual gift, what are you doing with it now?
So I went through spiritual awakening, right? Then that was witchcraft happened, right? Witchcraft happened the very same time. After that, like I said, I honestly believe that I had lost my mind at some point, right? So I had to just deal with that first, right? I just have to take time, just be easy on me, not to think of other things, right? Try to actually get my gift aligned and all those type of things. Just give my time to heal, basically.
Yeah.
So that's what just I've been focusing on, basically, just to heal.
So when your aunt actually did that, which year was that?
That was last year.
Last year. So this is something that is very recent.
Yes. That's why I said at the beginning when you spoke, like, it's funny how I went through all those things. In the time when I came out of it, there was a platform.
Yeah. Wow. So, I don't really even know what to say.
Yeah.
What does your mom say? Like, does she ever tell you of anything maybe that happened the time that your conscious mind was actually not there?
Yeah. But that's the thing. Everyone talks about witchcraft. Witchcraft, it's happened, right? Everybody, they have a story of somebody, lawyer, somebody, but they don't lawyer outside.
Yeah.
It's just within a family.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And here it's why most of the time, right? We see now that there's a thing called Horwala, right? Right? Yeah. That's what the people they're after, right? Take soil from home, take soil from your grandmother's grave, basically believing that they can control Sidimu, right? Ancestors.
Yeah.
Because they believe the blessings come from the ancestors, right? Taking all those things at the grave, they believe that they can take family blessings, those type of things. So that's what they just focus on that. And even with her, actually, she's just being used. There's other one which is,
bigger than her.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so just for us to also touch on your father's side of the family, do you have any relationship with them now?
No, I got rejected. I got, how do I say, don't ever come back to the family, right? And also, I got to understand why. Because of, they also have a, like I said, my mom was a domestic worker.
Yeah.
There, so it's very rich family, I can say that, right?
Yeah.
They also now, recently now, they've been rich the whole time, right? Now they got to a point where they are fighting for the riches, right? So you coming as well.
It's like an
already.
extra mouth that's gonna wanna take, whilst
Yeah.
the only thing that you wanted was to actually just connect with your father's side of the family. Have you ever visited your father's grave?
I did.
Okay.
I did. I went there, yeah. And I remember the last time when I left that home, I just spoke with ancestors, right? They say like, no, I'm out. I came, whatever that you wanted me to, I came. So, yeah, and I left. That was the last time I saw them.
That was the last time that you saw them.
Yeah. And I don't think ever that I will ever probably, I don't know, but I forgive, but I don't think that I will probably have a relationship with them or something like that. No.
So that feeling that you used to have of wanting to get to know your father, would you say like you quenched that thirst even though you never physically met him?
Honestly, it did because of right now I'm at a peace in a way, and that's the thing that I also want to also share with people, right? That I share on my YouTube as well. Let's say people, we don't need our fathers, right? We do need to know them, but other than that, for spiritual thing and we actually don't, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I went. And I'm glad that actually I went, but I'm glad that I went, experienced those things. So, yeah.
So your father's family, is it also like the same area where you go?
No.
Okay.
That's in Kuruman.
Oh,
right?
okay.
And like I said, I didn't even know Kuruman. I only went to Kuruman to go to... Kuruman is like a town for our village.
Oh, yes,
right?
yes.
So I grew up in a village. We never went to town.
Okay,
right?
so they are in town.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we only got to know the town only when I went to go look for your
father.
Yeah.
So when you actually got to meet your father's family, how old were you?
That was like 2019.
2019.
Yeah.
So it's something that is quite recent.
Yeah, recently. I went through with me recently.
Okay. So what advice would you give someone, that's your camera, what advice would you give someone maybe that is going through the stuff that you actually went through, going through the headaches, having dreams of snakes, waters, and they are also seeing witchcraft in their own families? What would you say to them?
Honestly, as people, right, particularly black people, right, we honestly don't need Zangoma. We don't need pastors. You don't need prophets to tell us things about our lives. Right?
Yeah.
The only thing that Sangomas they do, you open a door for a problem after problem. For me, that's my belief. Because of, I went to Sangoma to check what was going on with me. Then there was a problem after that. With the water spirit, honestly, man, I say water spirit doesn't follow everybody. It only follows certain artists, right?
Yeah.
Certain pastors, sangomas as well. But sangomas, not all sangomas, even sangomas, people deal with water, but not all of them, they are chased by a water spirit or they have a water spirit.
Yeah.
Which means it shows that the water spirit, it's only choose certain people for whatever reason. So for me, I heard somebody say they can pray for people with chased by the water spirit, but actually, we don't need sangomas, pastors, prophets. You can just do this on our own.
Can just pray on
Pray,
your own.
actually. Even if you struggle with a gift, the gift was not given to you by sangoma or prophet or pastor. It was given to you by God. You can just literally ask God, what's my
for him
gift?
to guide you. Yeah.
What's my gift? How do I use it? Those type of things.
No, that is actually great advice. I do have to say that is actually great advice. Before we actually just wrap up, please also just shout yourself out in terms of your socials, where people can find you, if they've got any questions or they just want to support you.
All right. Once again, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Ninjas, I go by the name of Platinum, right? You can check me on Twitter, it's DJ Platinum 1, Instagram, DJ Platinum, Twitter, TikTok, DJ.Platinum. So yeah, that's where they can find me. Yeah.
Okay. So right now, what are you doing? Are you DJing? Are you acting? Are you doing both? All YouTubing, everything?
I started with YouTube, right? Recently, I started with YouTube. This is something that I want to focus more into.
Yeah.
But, yeah. But right now, I'm just came to Joburg. Like when I came here, actually, was supposed to do the interview last week.
Yes.
I only came here Joburg last week. I came back from rural areas here last week.
Oh,
Right?
is it?
So I still want to get into the journey of again coming back to Joburg, start chasing dream type of thing. So yeah. So there's a club somewhere that I play at. So far I'm just gonna get into those things just to grow slowly.
So which club is that? So that maybe we can come and party.
So there's one club in just that town actually.
Okay.
That's not here. CBD actually.
CBD. Anyway, we will see your what do they call this gig line?
I still haven't not get that. Still not yet.
No, but even if it's just I don't know, like what I know that they say the gig line, whatever, and then it's a lot. But even if it's just like, okay, this weekend I'm playing here, we will definitely want to come and support. So please do make sure that you go and follow me on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok. You also have TikTok?
Yes.
Okay, I will leave all the links of all his socials in the description box down below so that you can go and check him out and obviously support. So thank you so much for actually joining us.
Thank you.
This was really just eye-opening. And thank you for sharing and being so open and being vulnerable with us. So yeah, man, ninjas from Owamie, I love you guys so much. Stay blessed, and yeah, man, I will see you guys in my next upload. Bye, ninjas.